I am not a historian, but neither are you. So how about we, the people, learn this stuff together? Welcome to US 101. Yeah, I've kind of gotten used to it by now. It seems as if 2016 was the year that everybody became a fan of Alexander Hamilton. The guy who a year ago most people would not know was on the $10 bill has now become the $10. Founding father without a father got a lot farther by working a lot harder. And this is all thanks to Lin-Manuel Miranda and his outstanding musical Hamilton. And this past Friday, the Hamilton Mixtape, which features artists like Chance the Rapper, Busta Rhymes, Nas, Alicia Keys, Dessa from Doomtree, The Roots, and many more, putting their spin on songs from the show, was released, and I have a feeling that it's going to be the soundtrack to many a high school theater cast party. However, while the musical does cover pretty much all of Hamilton's life from beginning to end, there are some facts about Hamilton that didn't make it into the musical that are just as eye-opening and interesting. So on today's episode, I'll be giving you guys some of the facts about Hamilton's life that didn't make it onto the stage. I guess you could call these Hamil facts. Hamil facts. Shut the f up. That was hilarious. Hamil fact. So while everybody pretty much knows about Hamilton's ill-fated duel with Aaron Burr in 1804, shout out by the way to that 90s milk commercial.
Excuse me?
What a lot of people don't know is that before that duel, Hamilton almost went pistol to pistol with our 5th president, James Monroe. Now in the musical Hamilton, it's Thomas Jefferson, Aaron Burr, and James Madison that confront Hamilton on the charge that he's embezzling government funds for private purposes. But in reality, it was James Monroe that confronted Hamilton about that. Monroe went and confronted Hamilton about this charge, which was initially made by James Reynolds, husband of Mariah Reynolds, who is one of the stars of Hamilton's infamous Reynolds pamphlet. So Monroe went to Hamilton, looked at him and was like, "What's up, man? What's happening? You just taking government funds and just using them for private purposes? What the hell, bro?" Hamilton fired back and was like, "Nuh-uh, no I didn't. I used my own money to give to James Reynolds so that he would shut the f up about the fact that me and his wife were getting dirty." Now Monroe actually kept detailed notes of the conversations he had with Hamilton, James Reynolds, and Mariah Reynolds, and then he stored them away. Unfortunately, it said that a clerk also copied down those notes and then leaked them to the press about the charges of speculation on Hamilton's part and the fact that Hamilton was an adulterer. When the details of these notes makes it into the newspaper, Hamilton gets pissed, and he decides to go and pay James Monroe a visit over why the notes got leaked, and the two of them nearly go to blows over it. And the argument that Monroe and Hamilton actually had was written down, and it shows that Monroe called Hamilton a scoundrel. Hamilton fired back, "I will meet you like a gentleman," which means I will see you on the dueling ground, bitch. To which Monroe retorts, "I'm ready, grab your pistols, you bastard." But then for a few months, all they do is go back and forth with each other through letters, and they're like writing things to each other like, "Dude, I will totally duel you next week, but you know what? I gotta, not next week actually, I gotta go to the dentist, but the week after, oh, I'm gonna put a bullet in your face." But the duel ended up never happening. Monroe and Hamilton never fired shots at each other because it was squashed by James Monroe's second. Who was his second? Aaron Burr. In fact, Aaron Burr called Hamilton and Monroe's behavior towards each other during this whole ordeal, quote, "childish." Kind of ironic though how later on it would play out between Burr and Hamilton and how they would be acting a bit childish towards each other. Hamil fact. Did you know that the main reason we have the US Mint is largely due to the work of Alexander Hamilton? In 1791, he submitted a report to the House of Representatives saying that a mint should be established and that a national currency should be introduced to the American people. Since he wanted Americans to get used to handling money on a regular basis, he suggested that silver 10-cent coins, copper coins, and half-cent coins would be best. And because of his report and because of his work on it, in 1792, Congress passed what is known as the Coinage Act. The Coinage Act would create a decimal system for US currency, and it made the silver dollar a unit of American currency. And not only that, but because Hamilton was the Treasury Secretary, the very first Treasury Secretary, he got first dibs on having his picture on more currency than any other founding father in American history. As we already know, Hamilton is on the $10 bill, but he's also appeared on the $2 bill, the $5 bill, the $20 bill, bill, the $50 bill, and the $1,000 bill. You can go ahead and have all your Benjamins. I'm all about the Hamiltons, baby. Hamo fact: from 1798 to 1800, the United States and France were involved in a limited and essentially undeclared war known as the Quasi-War. But in the ramp-up to that war, in the event that full-scale war had happened, John Adams, who was not the biggest fan of Alexander Hamilton, went ahead and made him a major general of the army. But with George Washington's endorsement, Adams then made Hamilton a senior major general, and then he became the inspector general of the army, which basically meant that he was in charge of the entire Continental Army. And then after George Washington died in 1799, Hamilton became the senior officer of the army, which is a rank that was also known by another title, Commander-in-Chief of the Continental Army. Yes, this is the only time Hamilton would have the title of Commander-in-Chief. He held this position until June of 1800 and was tasked with defending the United States from French invasion. But Adams stepped in and resolved the whole Quasi-War issue with a peace treaty known as the Treaty of Mortefontaine. And there you go, guys. Just a few more Hamilton facts for you that didn't make it into the musical, but I still think are super, super interesting. So how about you take your shot down below in the comments section and present some of your favorite facts about Alexander Hamilton, and together we can discuss, debate, and celebrate the man, the myth, and the timeless MC. And that is it for this episode of US 101, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Really do appreciate it. Please be sure to subscribe to the channel, like the videos, share them, comment below, get involved, and let's try to make this channel as big and as awesome as we possibly can. Thank you for watching. We'll be back with a brand new episode next Tuesday. Until then, we are all done. Thank you. I'm gonna go listen to the Hamilton mixtape right now. I'm not throwing away my shot. I'm not throwing away